Let me start with an honest question. Have you ever been meditating regularly, feeling calmer, clearer, more grounded? And then suddenly your mind asks, but does this actually work? Even after years of practice. I know that feeling well. I have meditated for many years now, daily, and the effects are obvious in my life. I can feel the difference in my nervous system, in my ability to focus, and in how I respond to stress. And yet, from time to time, my mind still asks that question: is this real? And I think this is actually very human, because meditation works mostly with the things we cannot directly see: attention, awareness, energy, inner stability. But the fact that something is invisible does not mean it's not real. In fact, many of the most powerful forces shaping our lives are invisible: gravity, electricity, thought, emotion, and attention. Meditation trains the most powerful instrument we have, the mind itself. But that is actually a sign of a healthy analytical mind. But in this case, the science has finally caught up to what the mystics have known for millennia. Here is a breakdown of the why and how, blending hard data with the power of visualization. If you still question the unseen benefits of meditation after years of practice, good. But curiosity means your mind is awake. But today I want to give that logical mind of yours something to chew on. Because while we feel a shift in our hearts, our brains are actually undergoing a physical reconstruction. We live in an age of fragmented attention. Our focus has been hijacked by algorithms and notifications, and we've forgotten that focus is a muscle, one we have to relearn how to flex. Today we are going to look at the hard science of neuroplasticity, the glitch in the brain that makes visualization a superpower, and why strengthening the bridge between your mind and your heart is the most radical act of rebellion you can perform in 2026. My name is Katsuan, and today we're quieting the skeptic and empowering the seeker. Let's dive in. For a long time, people believed that the brain was relatively fixed, but once you reached adulthood, the structure of the brain was mostly stable. But neuroscience has shown something very different. The brain is plastic. It changes in response to how we use it. This concept is called neuroplasticity. Every time you repeat a mental activity, focusing, worrying, visualizing, learning, you strengthen certain neural pathways. Meditation is essentially training the brain to return to attention. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back to the breath, you are strengthening the circuits responsible for focus and emotional regulation. It's like doing repetitions in a mental gym. Modern neuroscience has actually studied meditation quite extensively, and some of the results are remarkable. For example, studies from Harvard and Massachusetts General Hospital have shown that regular meditation can change brain structure. In an 8-week mindfulness study, researchers observed increased gray matter density in the hippocampus, which is associated with learning and memory, reduced activity in the amygdala, the brain's fear and stress center. This means meditation doesn't just make you feel calmer, it literally changes how your brain processes stress. Another interesting finding is related to the default mode network. This is a network of brain regions that becomes active when the mind is wandering, worrying, or ruminating about the past and future. Meditation reduces activity in this network, creating a gap in the constant internal monologue. This explains why people who meditate often report less mental noise. In that gap, something incredible happens. Neuroplasticity. Your brain starts to realize it doesn't have to follow the same old grooves of anxiety. You are laying down new tracks. You are teaching your nervous system that safety isn't something you find, it's something you build. Our attention is under constant attack. Phones, notifications, social media, endless information. We live in an environment designed to fragment our focus, but focus is not just a productivity skill. It is a mental stability skill. When attention is scattered, the mind becomes restless. When the mind is restless, emotions become unstable. Meditation is essentially the practice of relearning how to focus. And in the modern world, this is becoming one of the most valuable abilities we can cultivate. From a spiritual perspective, meditation does something even deeper. It not only trains the mind, it also opens the heart. When the mind becomes quieter, something interesting happens. You begin to feel more, not in an overwhelming way, but in a clearer way. Compassion increases, patience increases, you become less reactive. This is why many spiritual traditions speak about the union of the mind and the heart. Meditation stabilizes the mind, and a stable mind allows the heart to open without being overwhelmed. When meditating, we bring the heart and the head into coherence. When we sync up, life stops feeling like a series of obstacles and starts feeling like a flow. You aren't just focusing on a task, you are becoming present for your life. There is a massive difference. In meditation, in fact, we connect with our true selves. Now, let's talk about visualization, as this is in fact also my most liked form of meditation. Simply because it has given me the best results on my own path to balance. To the logical mind, visualizing feels like make-believe. But your brain has a beautiful flaw. It struggles to distinguish between a vivid mental rehearsal and a physical event. When elite athletes visualize a perfect race, their muscles fire in the exact same sequence as if they were running. They are preloading the experience into their nervous system. Olympic athletes mentally rehearse movements before competitions, and studies show that this mental rehearsal actually improves physical performance. Neuroscience has shown that visualization activates many of the same brain regions as real physical experience. When you visualize during meditation, whether it's calling back a fragmented part of your soul, or imagine a shield of light, energy, healing, or guiding symbols, you aren't just fantasizing. You are sending a direct command to your subconscious. You are communicating in the language of images, the ancient language that predates words. If you can see yourself as a whole, your body begins to believe it, and when the body believes it, the biochemistry follows. Cortisol drops and oxytocin rises. You are hacking your own biology through the power of sight, which means visualization can be used to influence emotional states, focus, healing responses, stress regulation. When you visualize warmth, light, safety, or integration during meditation, your nervous system receives signals that those states are possible. This is why practices like visualizing light, energy, or returning fragmented parts of the self can feel so powerful. You are communicating directly with the deeper layers of your nervous system. So if meditation is so powerful, why do we still doubt it? Because the results are understated at first. Meditation is not a dramatic transformation overnight. It is more like erosion shaping a landscape. Small changes, repeated daily. But over time, the terrain changes. Many people notice. They react less impulsively. Their thoughts slow down. Their focus improves. They feel more present in their own lives. These changes are quiet, but they are profound. Another way to understand meditation is this. Meditation is strength training for the mind. Just as muscles become stronger through resistance, the mind becomes stronger through returning to focus. Every time the mind wanders and you bring it back, you are strengthening attention. In a distracted world, this is a radical act. Because attention is the foundation of everything else. Without attention, you cannot learn deeply. You cannot listen deeply. You cannot feel deeply. Meditation restores that capacity. One meditation session can feel good, but the real transformation happens through consistency. Think of brushing your teeth. You don't brush once and expect lifelong dental health. You brush daily. Meditation is similar. It is hygiene for the mind. 5 minutes a day can begin to shift your nervous system. 10 minutes can deepen it. Over months and years, the effects accumulate. I, for example, like to start the day with an energy clearing meditation. It is nothing fancy or long, but it prepares my day for the best possible outcomes, no matter how challenging the day ahead might be. I calm down and prepare my personal energies before deep diving into the maze of other people's energies. And now you might ask, why me? The answer is simple, because you are aware, you know, and you can. Taking responsibility for our own energy first, and our emotional and mental state along with that, is actually how we start creating more peaceful and positive environments around us. You will smile more, which in return will make other people smile more in your presence, and so on. The same goes for the evening. Energy clearing is as important in the evening, just to unload anything that isn't yours to carry. So, should we question the unseen? Yeah, always. But don't look for the answers in a textbook. Look for them in the mirror. How do you react when someone cuts you off in traffic now, compared to 3 years ago? How quickly do you bounce back from a stressful day? How does your body feel when you wake up? The mind will always ask, does it work? Because the mind loves to doubt. But the self, the whole, integrated you already knows your emotional well-being after each session is the only proof you need. Trust the relaxation in your shoulders. Trust the clarity in your eyes. Trust the return of your own vitality. Keep doing the work. It's not a one-time cure, but it is a lifetime of freedom. If you're ready to put this into practice and want to restore your inner balance by healing your heart and soul, I have linked my Return to Wholeness bundle, which consists of a guided audio meditation and an ebook in my description below. It's a deep dive into the visualization work we talked about today, and my number one go-to practice to bring back those lost soul fragments from any timeline you can think of, from childhood to ancestral lineage as well as from past lives. The soul's memory is holographic, which is why it works so effectively, but don't just take my word for it. Experience it yourself. So, next time when your mind asks, does meditation really work? You can answer honestly, yes. Science supports it, your nervous system confirms it, and your own experience will gradually reveal it. But meditation is not about achieving perfection. It is about returning to your breath, returning to your awareness, returning to the present moment. And in a world that constantly pulls your attention outward, that simple act of returning may be one of the most powerful things you can practice. Before we close today, I want to invite you to move from the head into the lived experience. Let's take 60 seconds to open the channels we've been talking about. So, sit tall, let your shoulders drop, close your eyes if that feels safe, or simply soften your gaze. Place one hand on your belly, the home of the body. Place the other hand on the center of your chest, the home of the heart. Inhale deeply into the palm of your lower hand. Feel the physical expansion. As you breathe, acknowledge the wisdom of your cells, your bones, and your nervous system. Say to yourself, I am here. I am listening. Now, draw that breath upward into the palm of your top hand. Feel the warmth of your heart. This is your center of coherence. As the heart softens, imagine a golden thread stretching upward from your chest, through the crown of your head, reaching toward the soul, the infinite part of you that remains untouched by the noise of the world. Visualize the channel between these 3 points, belly, heart, and soul, opening like a clear flowing river. No blocks, no static, just a clean signal. Your body provides the ground, your heart provides the compass, your soul provides the light. Take one final deep breath, pulling that alignment into every fiber of your being. When you're ready, wiggle your fingers, open your eyes, and come back to the room. The communication is open now. Your only job is to stay quiet enough to hear it. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'll see you in the next video.